Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Vucevic in at center with Williams next to him. White is out there with Josh Giddey. And it's Levine at the small forward. And for the Nets, the guard pair, Schroeder and Thomas. Dorian Finney-Smith is out there with Cameron Johnson. And it's Claxton in at the center position. Well, both these teams, of course, Greg, strong and rebounding. Should be a battle out there.
Nothing easy in the paint, Kevin. Both front courts will be fighting for every possession when they miss. First points of the night, and you know this is going to be a battle of matchups.
What's going to be fascinating to watch is which matchups are they willing to go exploit.
Count the basket.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
And we know injuries derailed last season for the Bulls, but with an aging core, you wonder where they go from here.
I mean, the Bulls are kind of stuck in the middle of things as it now stands. Not quite good enough to make a run in the East, but not in a position where they need to start over.
When you look at Josh Giddey's overall skill set and combine that with the 6'8" size and the point guard mindset that he has, he is special. The playmaking, the willingness to score it in tough spots. This guy has got a bright future.
Now here's Thomas. Back to Schroeder. Screen by Claxton. Shot clock at 5. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So one free throw coming up.
This guy has quality wingspan for his size. Dennis Schroeder can adapt and adjust to defensive pressure.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here.
First team foul.
And here's Levine, who brings it up for the Bulls. Williams, a screen on Johnson. Levine looking around. White with it. 6 on the shot clock. Launches it. The shot misses. Thomas against Giddey. Thomas passes to Finney-Smith. Back to Thomas. Johnson outside. Thomas, a screen on Levine. Lets the 3 fly. Johnson's shot is off. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Was able to talk with Jordy Fernandez for a minute. I asked him what plan he had, if any, for Zach LaVine. He said, my focus is making sure he doesn't get any easy shots. We have to contest every attempt. It's about mitigating the damage, not preventing it. So it looks like he'll settle for just making LaVine work as hard as possible. Guys?
Thank you, David.
And guys, getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Now here's Vucevic. Chicago needs to get a shot off. Levine for 3. Bulls with the fresh shot clock. Vucevic with the bucket.
How about those instincts from the 7-footer? Vucevic uses that size to snag offensive rebounds.
Picked by Finney-Smith. Right wing. Claxton inside. Vucevic on him. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Vucevic. And not too long ago, Doris, there were such high hopes for the Nets' future.
I mean, think about it, Kevin. A few years back, people were talking about Brooklyn being a dynasty in the making. They were loaded with talent. And for a lot of reasons, it fell apart pretty quickly. How fine is that line between success and failure in the league? Incredible.
And that one falls for Claxton. And when you talk to people about the Bulls, GA, Michael Jordan's shadow still looms large over this team and organization.
And Kevin, they haven't won a championship before or since he was in Chicago. They've had plenty of good players, Derrick Rose and MVP, Jimmy Butler as well, but the results haven't been there.
And so it's Giddey with it. He brings it up for Chicago. They trail by 1. Pass to Levine. And the rejection by Claxton. And here we go. Thomas heading to the hoop. And Claxton throws it down.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
The finish in transition, nice and easy.
Here's White. 1:16 left here in the opening quarter. And here is Giddey. Smith sets the pick for Giddey. Yes, that goes in. And it's 7 points here for Josh Giddey.
Well, that's about confidence and composure on the interior. Josh Giddey does stand 6'8", makes that a little easier.
Simmons passes to Claxton. Great D that time from Vucevic.
It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
Pass to Levine. The 3. Drains the three-pointer.
Levine's form is pure. That three-point shot is pretty.
For Brooklyn, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Here's Simmons. Lays it up off the glass.
And they've scored several times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And stolen by Simmons. Nobody near Schroeder. The second effort, the second chance effort, and Simmons with the lay-in.
Yes, he has the size, but you also have to be willing to be alert and active on the offensive glass. Ben Simmons, always a willing participant. Well, nice job crashing the glass. You'd love to see that kind of effort.
And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. Brooklyn ahead, up by 2. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the Nets, what do you think?
Well, you come in thinking they're going to settle for perimeter jump shots. Think again.
They've certainly made the commitment to pounding the basketball into the painted area, and boy, is it paying dividends.
Taking a look at the Bulls, Levine and Williams up in the forward positions. Dosumu is up there with ball, and it's Smith in at the 5 down low. Here's Wilson, and right away they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Just focusing on the task at hand, that's all you can do.
Boy, the tide is running one way and then shifts back in the other direction. I've lost count of how many lead changes we've had here tonight.
Down low. From 17 feet out. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
And here are the Nets. Schroeder, left side. Outside, Simmons. Kicks it out to Schroeder. 5 on the clock. Finney-Smith. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Finney-Smith's got the lead up to 3 now for Brooklyn. And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Here's Levine. And it's Finney-Smith with the rebound. Brooklyn's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Screen by Simmons. Wilson kicks it over to Schroeder. You know, a trend that's been unmistakable, Greg, over the last few decades has been the number of positionless players.
Yeah, and I think that's a great thing, right? So many players now with diversity in their skill set, and there's no need to commit a player to a certain role just based on their size.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Nicholas Claxton comes in for Williams. And Trendon Watford subbed in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Vucevic checked in for the Bulls. Schroeder with the ball. Now guarded by Vucevic. And Simmons slams it in.
This close to the rim, Ben Simmons just leaves, no doubt.
Bulls trailed by 7. Getting the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Hey, Kevin, Bulls coach Billy Donovan keeps perspective. He says, I used to come back from a tough road loss, go straight to the office and pull an all-nighter, trying to figure out what went wrong. My highs were too high and my lows were too low. You have to realize so much of it is just luck. The breaks of life. Kevin?
That's right, D.A. We respect Billy Donovan as much as any coach in the NBA. But a good outlook there, you're right. Hey, thank you.
We are talking about a very solid passer at his position. Schroeder identifying an open teammate.
Vucevic setting the pick for Levine. There's the triple. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Levine's got 5 points in the quarter.
This guy reads situations so well, and he knows how to execute.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Schroeder passes to Wilson. 6 to shoot. Stolen by Levine. Drops in the breakaway layup. Now just a 2-point Brooklyn lead.
Well, few will be able to match up with Levine in the open court. Fast and fluid.
And Jordi Fernandez has called a timeout. He's ready to talk things through with the team. So for the Bulls, Patrick Williams, he's checked in for Smith. Josh Giddey comes in for Dosunmu. And it's Kobe White in for Ball. Claxton a screen on White. Oh, Claxton in position. Schroeder kicks to Finney-Smith. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Finney-Smith's got 5 points so far.
Finney-Smith on the catch, ready to rise and fire. That's big-time shooting ability right there, folks.
Here's Levine. Brooklyn with the rebound.
Well, certainly not the best defensive effort, but this guy can't make them pay for their laziness.
Johnson can't get it to go.
He couldn't believe how open he was. He just couldn't convert it.
Williams passes to Giddey. And he banks in the layup. He's got 9.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Thomas with it, defended by Giddey. Claxton the pass to Thomas. 3-pointer. Rebounded by Vucevic. Chicago trailing. Now here's Giddey. Claxton with the steal. Thomas feeling it out a bit. Got it off in time. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Nets lead by 2. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway. After a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. You look at Zach LaVine, he's really been playing well.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
The guard pair, Schroeder and Thomas. Dorian Finney-Smith is out there with Nicholas Claxton. And it's Johnson in at the 3. And that's the group for Jordi Fernandez as we begin the second half. Claxton is screen on White. Schroeder finds Claxton. And the basket is good. Claxton's got 8 points.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
Yeah, LaVine, not a guy you want to concede that mid-range game to. So skilled in that area.
And so it's Schroeder with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Brooklyn Nets. Claxton is screen on White. Schroeder dishes to Johnson. Picked by Finney-Smith. Johnson kicks to Finney-Smith. Basket is good. The assist from Johnson. 8 points for him.
Well, this is where Dorian Finney-Smith has really come such a long way. What a transformation to a real threat beyond the arc.
White, wide open. He fires. A three-pointer, no good. Nets leading by 3. Johnson, the pass to Claxton. Now Schroeder. He has 5. Shoots over White. And it's Schroeder missing. White up top. He's guarded by Schroeder. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by White.
Well, when you're careless with the basketball, you can expect that to happen.
Two minutes gone in this third quarter now. Claxton a screen on Giddey. Thomas dishes to Johnson. Over Levine. They get it back.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Bulls trailed by 5. Here's Vucevic. Lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Well, Vucevic at his best. A reliable interior scorer. Great size, great touch.
Screen by Claxton. Thomas with it. Now guarded by Vucevic.
You know, fought hard from start to finish on that play. Defended the shot and then finished it off with the rebound.
Listen, he's going to get stronger, but you talk about guile and the willingness to battle down low. Josh Giddey is more than up to the task.
This is his second trip to the free throw line. So for the Nets, Wilson, he's checked in for Cameron Johnson. And it's Ben Simmons in for Dennis Schroeder. The Bulls also changing it up. Dosunmu, he's checked in for Zach LaVine. And it's Lonzo Ball in for White. Thomas against Giddey. Thomas kicks to Finney-Smith. Outside Thomas. Picked by Finney-Smith. Thomas passes to Finney-Smith. And finished off by Finney-Smith.
Now, Dorian Finney-Smith has the ability athletically to finish near the cup, and he does so there.
Vucevic's screen on Thomas. Here's Giddey. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Bulls shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line. About 79% of their free throws.
So for the Nets, Connie's checked in, and Trendon Watford subbed in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Jalen Smith, he's checked in for Chicago. Bruce Ellis comes in for Williams. Outside Thomas. Simmons sets a screen for Thomas. 4 on the shot clock. Driving the lane. Here's Wilson. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Pass to Giddey. Screen by Smith. Now Buzelis for the tie. That one misses.
That's not his spot, but given the lack of defense, you'd like to see him knock that one down.
Now Simmons kicks it out to Wilson. It's stolen by Smith. And now the Bulls on the break. And Ball slams it in.
Yeah, Ball just really good at running in transition. Smart at knowing where to sprint to in the open floor.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's Simmons. He's got 6. Lays it up and banks it in. Simmons got 8.
That's what you want to see from Simmons, being aggressive and looking for his own shot.
Here's Giddey. Up and in on the layup.
And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
And here is Thomas. Fires for three. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of three. Brooklyn ahead, up one. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the two-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
Well, having multiple playmakers on the floor makes you a much tougher team to defend.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. So for Chicago right now, they've got Dosunmu. Levine is out there with Buzelis. Then it's Jalen Smith. And it's Ball in at the point. Williams against Levine. Smith for three. Wilson grabs the board.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Chicago trailing here. Ball with it. Pass to Smith. To take the lead. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
This is exactly what you hope to see from Jalen Smith. Use that length and physicality in the lane.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Nets.
They've shown no let-up. Penetration, knife it inside. The defense has to tighten it up if they want to slow this team down.
And the other thing, guys, that they've been very effective at is shooting the long-range jumpers. The defense has been having trouble closing out to them in this game in particular.
And Simmons kicks to Williams. Just 5 to shoot. Johnson, the pass to Watford. Johnson down low, guarded by Levine. Here's Schroeder. And again, no good by Brooklyn. And he's going up for the alley-oop. And then Buzelis with the dunk.
And how about the incredible timing on that alley-oop?
He absolutely hammered it down. Schroeder surveying the floor. Outside for Simmons. That shot, no good. Good work defensively by Smith. To the paint. And there's Buzelis on the assist by Levine. Now it's a 5-point Bulls lead. And Jordi Fernandez has called a timeout. Wants to make sure everybody's coordinated and intent. A big group substitution here for Brooklyn. Nicholas Claxton's checked in for Ben Simmons. Dorian Finney-Smith comes in for Trendon Watford. Johnson, he's checked in for Williams. And it's Cameron Thomas in for Johnson. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Vucevic checked in for Jalen Smith. Williams comes in for Buzelis. Josh Giddey's checked in for Dosunmu. And it's Kobe White in for Lonzo Ball. Here's White. And the rejection by Claxton. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Schroeder against White. Picked by Finney-Smith. Thomas. And he uses the glass on the layup. And now just a 1-point Chicago lead.
And that's about the worst defense I can imagine a team playing coming down the stretch.
You know, we talked about execution offensively coming down the stretch. To me, it's as important defensively, and they didn't have it.
Clearly a foul.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really want. He's got one more, though. He's able to hit the second one, and that'll put them up by 2.
Well, they should be looking at a 3-point lead. Hopefully for them, that miss won't cost them.
Screen by Claxton. Thomas dishes to Johnson. Claxton Austin sets the screen for Johnson. Just 3 to shoot. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over.
Boy, that's the last thing they need. This game too close to be making those kinds of errors.
The Bulls shooting extremely well. 62% on the night to this point. Levine kicks to Vucevic. Connects from three-point range. Vucevic has got the lead up to 5 now for the Bulls. Enzo Thomas will bring it up for Brooklyn. Johnson with a screen on Giddey. Now here's Thomas. Schroeder outside. Going inside. Can't connect from short range. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's Levine, and he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. And here we go. A coach's challenge has been initiated. We'll have to now review the personal foul in question.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can...
The previous play is under
everything in real time.
The wonders of technology. We've seen replay reviews so effectively and involving the coaches.
After the review, the ruling on the floor is overturned.
And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review. Relentless in their approach, even with the game firmly in hand.
This is a textbook example of playing the possession and not the score. This team is doing a great job continuing to execute.
It drops.
Well, coaches might discourage that kind of look, but he'll take it anyway.
Here's Chicago. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Here's Levine, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Timeout. And the Bulls lead by 7.
Levine cooking right now, and if I'm the defense, I'm trying to make sure I knock him off balance.
Timeout called the Nets. They're trailing by 7. What do you think, guys?
Some call them wins and lessons. Coach not wasting any time making his point.
Well, maybe not his time, but this game is certainly finished. Let's get it over with.
Johnson, that's for 2. Chicago grabs the miss. And so it's Chicago winning this one. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. And as we leave you, let's take a look at our player of the game, Zach LaVine.